Hello guys, welcome to another video in the series of coding. Today we are going to do the problem that is called smallest distinct window. So in this question, you are given a string S. You have to find the smallest window length that contains all the characters of the given string at least one time. So for example, if A is given this, then the result will be 4. Because if you take the string DCBA, it contains all the characters A, B, C, D which are included in the string. Let's try to take more examples to understand this. Suppose this is our given string. We have to find the smallest length of a substring such that it contains all the characters. So all is important, right? So first of all, let's list down all the characters in this string. What are all the unique characters? So for example, A, then we have B, then we have C, right? So there should be a substring that should contain all these three characters. Let's take an example. Can we take this substring? Of course, because it contains A, it contains B, it contains C. But what is the length of this substring? If you consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is of length 5. Can we try to do better than this? Can we reduce the answer? Because our aim is to find the minimum length substring, right? So let's try to reduce the answer. So we have to find a substring containing all the three characters. What about this substring? Is this valid? Yes, it has C, it has B, it has A. What is the length? Length of this is 4, right? So can we try to do even better? Can we reduce it even further? So consider this substring which is BAC. So it is of only length 3. It has all the three characters ABC. So in this case the answer is 3 because it is the smallest such substring which contains all the given characters which are there, which is ABC. Okay. Now let's see how we can solve this problem. So the first idea or the approach is very simple. First of all, list down all the characters that are present. So let's start. So let's consider this string right now. So what are the unique characters that are present? So first I see a C, so I write C. Then as I iterate, C is already there, so it's not unique. Next I move on, I see a new B. Next I move on, I see capital A. Next B is already there, so I move on, I see capital B. Okay, and this B is already there, C is already there. Okay, so on, right? So these are the unique characters. So we have capital C, small b, capital A, capital B. These are the 4 unique characters. So let's say we store them in a data structure. Let's say we store it in a set because set will store only unique characters. So very simple. Okay. Now let's start iterating from the very beginning. So let's say I'm going to start from I equal to 0. Okay, I'm going to store the characters one by one as I see it. First of all, I should see 4 characters, right? Until I see 4 characters, I can just keep iterating. At least I should, notice that all these 4 characters should be there. Okay, so let me start. First, I see the character C. So now let me take a data structure. Let me take map. I store character C and it occurs once. Okay, so I go to the next iteration. Then I go to I equal to 1. I again see C. So I change the count of my C. It has occurred 2 times. Then I go to I equal to 2. I see C. So then I change the count equal to 3. Then I go to next I equal to 3. I see B. So I see B has occurred 1 time. Why are we continuing to iterate? Now you see that the size of the map, okay. Let me see. Let's say the map is called M. The size of the map, see, there are only 2 characters in the map. So the size of the map is 2. But I need at least 4, right? So while the size of the map is less than the size of the set, I can simply continue iterating. I did not even do anything, right? So I can just simply continue iterating. That's why I'm just moving forward. So let me iterate. Next I go to I equal to 4. I see the capital A. A is 1. Now the size of the map is 3, right? Size of the map is 3. So that means I have only 3 unique characters, but I need 4 unique characters. So what I can do, I can just continue iterating, right? Very simple. Okay, now let me go to I equal to 5. I see small b, so I increase the count of b to 2. Next I go to I equal to 6. I again see small b, so I increase the count. Count is equal to 3. Okay, next I go to I equal to 7. For the very first time, I see capital B and I make its count equal to 1. So now if I do m dot size, which will give me the size of the map for the very first time, it is equal to 4. Okay, it is equal to 4. Awesome. So I needed 4 characters because the size of my set is 4 and m dot size is equal to set dot size. So it's amazing, right? But I need to find the minimum length. Currently, I am taking this entire string. Is this the minimum length? It's not necessary, right? Because consider alone this string. Even this string will give me the answer. So why should I take the entire string when alone this string will also have all the 4 characters? See, it has C, it has B, it has A and it has capital B. So it has all the 4 characters. So I can get a smaller string. So why should I unnecessarily take the entire big string? I need to find the minimum string, right? So that's why apart from the pointer that is iterating forward, I also need a pointer. Let's say it's called J, which will iterate from backward and it will delete characters which are extra, which are not required, because I need the minimum substring. Okay, so I have a backward pointer also. Let's say it starts at J equal to 0. So I see the character C. Now I see that the count in the map is 3. If I reduce this, if I remove this, the count will become 2. Still the size of the map will remain 4 only. It's not going to affect. Okay, so I will remove this character. Even after removing this character, changing the size of 3 to 2 does not affect the size of map, right? Because the size of the map will still remain 4. I will still have all my 4 characters. I can easily make the count of this equal to 2. There is going to be no effect. So I'm going to make the count equal to 2. Now I'm going to now I have shrunken my window. See, I have shrunken my size. So I'm trying to get a lower size, which is awesome, which is what we want. Okay, now let's go to next case, J equal to 1. Now I see a C again, right? Now I can still reduce the count of this. If I remove this, still it's going to be no effect, right? So if I remove this and I make the count of this equal to 1, still the size of the map is going to equal to 4, right? Still it's not going to get affected, right? Because there will still be 4 characters in the map, right? Now let me go forward. Now let me go to J equal to 2. Now I again see a C. If I remove this and I make the size equal to 0, this will get removed from the map. Then the size of my map will become equal to 3. This will no longer remain true. This will no longer remain a valid substring. What is a valid substring? Which has all unique characters. This will no longer remain a valid substring with all unique characters, right? So that will give me a problem. So what I should do? In this case, I cannot remove this. Since I cannot remove this I cannot remove this C. This is not allowed. If I remove this C, this will become 0. It will no longer remain a valid string. I will have only 3 characters in my map and this condition will be false, right? So what I should do, I cannot remove this, and I know that this is the size, right? I am at J equal to 2. This is the size of my substring which has all unique characters. It is, for now, it is the smallest size that I can make. Okay, so now in this condition I will just notice the size. What is the size? The I value is equal to 7, J value is equal to 2. So what is the size? So 7 minus 2 plus 1, these many characters I have, which is equal to 6. Okay, so right now in my answer I can store 6. I have 6. Okay, I have a size equal to 6. So that means the length of the string, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? There are 6 characters in the string which contains all the given unique characters. Okay, now I can move forward. So now I can no longer move my J. I can no longer remove any characters. I will have to move my I. I have no choice but to move I. So I go to I equal to 8. Now I see B, right? So I change the count of B and the count of B becomes equal to 4. Now I go forward. I again see B. So I change the count of B and B will become equal to 5. Okay, let me write 5. Now I move forward. I go to I see capital C. So the count of C becomes equal to 2. Okay. Now you see that when the count of C becomes equal to 2, right? Now what happens? This is awesome. This is no longer 1, right? When the count of C was 1, then only we were in a danger position. When the count of C is equal to 2, we can remove some characters. So now our J will get activated and we can try removing the C. Even if we remove the C, we will still have a valid substring. Okay, let me show that. So now we can remove this C. So let me remove this C. When I remove this C, what is going to happen? The C, which is having a count of 2, its count is again going to become equal to 1. Okay. But now where is my J? My J will move forward, right? Now I will see the character B. Now B has a count of 5. I can easily decrease its count. It's not going to affect the size of my map. Okay. It's awesome. Now let me move my J equal to 4. Okay. Now I see the capital A. Now A has a count of only 1, right? So I cannot remove this A. If I remove this A, its count will become equal to 0, which is a danger zone for us, right? So this is another substring that I can get. It has become very messy, but this is another substring starting from capital A, ending at capital C. This is valid. I can no longer move my J. I cannot move my J further. I cannot remove this A. Otherwise, it will become equal to 0 here, which will decrease the size of map. So I have to stop at this J, unfortunately, and what is the size? Let me calculate. So what is the value of j? J is equal to 4. What is the value of I? I is at end. So let me see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I is at value 10. So 10 minus 4 plus 1 is the size of the, is the length of the substring. 10 minus 4 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. I already have a substring of length 6 which is valid, and we need minimum, right? So we will not change the answer will still remain as 6. Okay, if this was lesser than answer, we would have changed the answer, but 7 is greater than answer, so we need not change it. Now when we continue, I will go out of bounds. So we have got the final answer. This is the simple logic. Now let's go forward to coding it. So the logic is very simple. Take a set, let me call it S, let me iterate through the string, okay, and just we can simply insert the character in the set. That's what we are doing. Okay, simple. Now let's go forward. Now we have to declare a map. Let me call it unordered int, unordered, sorry, let me call it unordered map, and it will store character corresponding to the given character. It will store the count of the characters, right? So let me start. So we were using 2 pointers, I and j. I is starting from 0, j is also starting from 0. So while I is less than str.size, okay, so that's what we can do, and we will keep iterating till this. Now we can take a answer variable. Okay, what can be the maximum possible answer? If all the characters in the string are unique, then the size of the str will be the maximum possible answer itself. Okay, this is when all the characters are unique in the string. You will have to take the entire string. Okay, now we will also note the size of the set. This will be the number of unique characters which we have. Okay, let's say n is equal to s dot size. So this is the size of the set that we have. Let me take an example. It will be much better. It's much clearer whenever we take an example. Let's take this example. So if this is our string, then what will be n? N will be the number of unique characters. In this case, n is 3. We have 3 unique characters corresponding to A, B and C, right? Okay. Now let's start iterating. So first we start from the very first character A. So what we will do, we will go to the map. In the map, we will just increase the count. Initially everything has a count of 0 because we have just declared the map. Now we are going to go at the first character, which is A, and in the map corresponding to A, I am going to make the count equal to 1. Okay, now I am going to just check if map size is equal to the size of my set. The size of my set is just n. I have already taken that here, right? So now I can see that this is m dot size. So the size of the map is currently only 1. There is only one character right in the map. So currently this condition is not true. Okay, so we will just go forward. We will just do I plus plus and we will just go forward quietly. Okay, we need not do anything. Now let me come to the next case. Next I again have A. I will increase the count to 2. Next I see B. So in the map I will just take B and make its corresponding count equal to 1. Now still the size of the map is 2. There are only 2 values in the map, but I need to check 3 values. I should get 3 unique characters, right? Currently I have only two unique characters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue forward. So I give I plus plus, I come to this B, I see that count of B should increase. Then I come to this B, again the count of B should increase and become equal to 3. Then for the first time I see C, right? I see C. So in the map, I'm going to make C, the count of C equal to 1. Okay, awesome. By the way, let me also write where my current I is. So my I is currently here. Let me take small I. Okay, so my I is currently at this C. And where is my J? My J is currently at the starting position, which is equal to 0. Okay, let me also write the indices below if I can. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, just so that we are clear. So I is currently at index 6. I is currently, this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I is currently at index 5. Okay, and it is pointing towards C, and I is at index 5. Okay, so now for the very first time we see that what is the size of the map. Size of the map is equal to 3. There are 3 values in the map. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 values in the map, and the set is also having a size of 3. Means I need 3 unique characters, which I have got. So for the very first time, we'll enter into the if condition. Now, what we are going to do in the if condition, it's very simple. This is a valid string, right? But let's try if we can decrease some characters. We need the minimum length of the valid string, right? So we can start to decrease the characters. Okay, so while m str of j, okay, while this is greater than 1, we can decrease the characters. Why? Because if we see that the index at position j, the character at position j, if that has a count equal to 1, whenever it reaches equal to 1, we cannot delete it. We'll go into the danger zone. If we delete it, its count will become 0. Then this condition will no longer remain valid. So we should give greater than 1. Okay, let's see. We'll do a dry run. Okay, so what is this currently? Where is j? J is currently at 0. And what is it pointing to? It's pointing to a, right? So this is nothing but this inside is nothing but a, right? Because the character is capital A. So what is the count of A? In the map, the count of A is 2. So 2 is greater than 1. We can easily delete this character. So we are going to delete this character. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to decrease its count and I can move my J forward. Okay. So now when I decrease its count, what will happen in the map? The count of A will decrease by 1. This will happen in the map when I give this condition, and my J can move forward. Okay. So J will move forward and J will come here. I will remain at the same position. So now you see, earlier I had the entire string, but I don't need the entire string. I can just decrease the string and I can just take this much of the string. That is why I did this while loop, right? Because even smaller string is giving me a valid answer and an answer of lesser length compared to the bigger string. So that's why I deleted this A and I just took this smaller string. Okay, so that is what I did. Awesome. So now let us go forward. So now when I reach this condition, J is pointing towards 1. Currently J is at index 1, and that means capital A. Now the value in the map is 1. If I delete this, if this condition I had not given, if I deleted this, it would have become 0, but it won't become 0 because I have given this condition, right? So awesome, because of giving this condition, it will not get deleted, right? So this while loop will come out. So this condition is not true, so we'll come out. Now we can just store the answer. Very simple. Answer is minimum of answer comma length. Now what is the length of this substring? So difference between I minus j plus 1. Okay, that's it. This is the length of the substring and this is the entire code. Let's calculate what is the length. So I is at 5, j is at 1. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 characters. Okay. Now we can go forward. Let's quickly continue this iteration. Now when we exit this while loop, we will just increase our I. So our I will point towards 6. Now we see B. So we can increase the count of B to be equal to 4. By the way, let me also store what is an answer. So currently we have 5 in answer. Okay, because earlier we had stored this 5 in answer. Okay, now let's just continue. So I is pointing towards 6 and the count of B has been increased. Okay, now let's again move forward our I. So the count of so by the way, when we move forward our I, right, what is happening before moving I forward, what we can do, we will again check and this condition will again be valid, right? This, even though this condition will be valid, m dot size will be equal to n. Okay, even in this condition. But what is going to happen is m of str of j. So j is still at this value capital A, right? So A is still having a count of 1. So this condition will not be valid. That's why we will not run this while loop. So there's no point in discussing this, right? So that's why I didn't discuss, right? So unless we see a, there is no point in moving in calculating the answer. Okay. So let's just go forward. So I is currently at 7 and the letter we see is B. So again I increase my count. It's equal to 5. Again I move my I forward. Now I is at 8 and I see the character A. Now it's awesome. For the very first time the count of A becomes equal to 2, right? So it is amazing. We have this entire string which is valid. Okay, now when we enter into this condition, we will enter into the while condition. For the very first time this while condition will be true because what is the count of A? J is pointing towards A and the count of A is 2 in the map. So because of which we can delete it. So when we delete it, we can make the count of A equal to 1 and we can move our J forward, right? And once we do this, what we can do, we can check our answer. So now, but before checking our answer, we have to complete this while loop, right? So let me just complete this while loop. So now again we will check this condition. J is at index 2 and it is seeing the character B. So we can easily delete it because 5 is greater than 1. So we can delete it. We can make it equal to 4 and we can move J forward, right? So again I move J forward. This is my current string. So I can again delete this B because 4 is still greater than 1. So I can delete this B. Count of B will be equal to 3 and I can move this J forward. Right, so now again I see B. I can easily delete it because the condition is still valid, so I can make the count of b equal to 2 and I can move forward. Okay, so now I have come here. Now I will check. Now my j is pointing towards c, right? So when j is pointing towards c, the count of c will be checked in the map, which is equal to 1. The count of c is 1. Now 1 greater than 1 is not true, right? So this while loop will exit. So for the first time during these iterations, this while loop will also exit. Now we will come to this condition. What is the answer? Answer currently is 5. Let's see if we are getting a better answer. So what is I is pointing towards 8. What is j? J is pointing towards 5. So I minus j plus 1 is going to be 8 minus 5 plus 1, right? So which is equal to 4. So now I have got a better answer. So since answer is minimum, I will change the answer and answer will become equal to 4, because we have got a string of length 4. Okay, which is awesome. Okay, now let's continue moving our I forward. So we will move I. Now I is at 9. So now C has also become equal to length 2. So it's awesome. Again we will go into this if condition. Again, see, this is a string which is valid, but we can delete some characters from it, because you see we are at j, which is pointing towards c, right? So we will enter into this while condition. So this is m of c, right? So we will enter into the condition and we can see the count of c is equal to 2, that is greater than 1. So we can delete this character c. By deleting, we will make its count equal to 1 and we will move our j forward, right? Now let's come to B. Again we see B. B has a count of 2. So this condition is also valid. 2 is greater than 1. So we will make its count equal to 1 and we will move J forward. Okay. So it's awesome. Now once we check, again we are at B. The count of B is equal to 1. So this condition is not valid. So we will exit. Now when we are exiting, this is our string. What is J? J is 7. What is I? I is 9. So we will check what is I minus J plus 1. 9 minus 7 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So when we'll compare the minimum of 4 and 3, it is 3. So we will change our answer. Answer will be equal to 3. So next time when you do I plus plus, you will just increment your I and you will exit the loop. Okay. So this is the entire working code. Let me return answer. Let's hope that it works. So it's working. Let's just submit and see if it's working for all the test cases. So it's working. Thank you for being patient, and